Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is brake day on the Sandrail. I'm gonna show you what we got going on here. So we got the back brakes in, everything's unloaded. It looks very nice. We upgraded specifically to these brackets here and some in the front as well. We wanted something stronger because this thing's gonna be under a lot of stress. These rotors are very large and I think they're gonna do us pretty well. We also got the e-brake there we're gonna throw on here. We're gonna focus on the back brakes right now, and here's why. We have a little bit of an issue with the front brakes. I don't think this is the right kit, or I'm at least not sure. The reason why is because these brackets we got with it do not line up. There are 3 holes right here, and they do not line up with the holes. And we can't really get it to work. I talked to the company on the phone when I purchased them, and this is the ones that they recommended and that they sent me. I don't know, maybe there was a miscommunication, or I think they just sent me ones that aren't actually gonna work. So regardless, we're gonna have to call them later on and figure that whole thing out. So we might have to do those front brakes at a later time. However, yes, the Sandrail is obviously very messy right now, but if you remember where we left off, we were doing wiring. So we're gonna get this whole thing, get moving along more so on the wiring, and then just a few random other things like belts and things like that. But main focus is gonna be brakes, so let's get going. So everything is mounted up here. We actually purchased these reinforced brackets. We figured this is probably something we should spend an extra couple bucks on. So these are a lot stronger. Our axle tubes here are now mounted to the actual spring portion itself. So that's good to go. We put these bumper plate things on. These were on it originally, but I painted them. And then rotors are on. So that's all good to go. We actually don't have this end cap piece. I will need to buy that. We gotta put that on the list. The wheel end cap thing. Yeah, so that needs to be there. And then I can also put the studs in here. But up next, we are going to mount up the calipers, and then I will be putting the studs on so that we can get wheels on. The wheels are not going to be ready yet, but we'll be ready to go when they get here. Also, we tested the starter, and that works. So we could turn over if we wanted to. There's no oil or anything in it right now. Everything's plugged up. There's a couple things that need to be finished up. Fans work. Is the wiring done, Zach?
I know, yeah.
So next step for wiring is I need to go through and make this all look pretty, right?
Yep.
We're not gonna deal with these front brakes today. That's gonna be another project, but I'm not sure that we have the right system here. So we're gonna need to figure that out. We also had some issues with getting a new belt, but this is just little stuff at this point. Just little stuff until we can fire up. All right, time to finish those back brakes. Took a while, but the back brakes are all on and pretty much ready to go. I haven't run the brake lines or the cable yet. That's something we're gonna do in another video. But for the most part, these are on and looking pretty good. I really like this gold color, and one of the things we were trying to fix here was this clearance in the middle here. So you can see we had to put like 2 washers there. Clearance has been kind of a big issue with this thing just because it's so finicky and different parts from different models all coming together. But for the most part, it's working out pretty good for us so far. So I think now is a good time to do a recap on the project and kind of just tell you guys what we're expecting from here on out. So just to recap, our wiring, as far as we know it, and for the most part, all works. The starter works, the fans work, everything should be working as regards to wiring. There might be some few things we need to fix, but for the most part, that's good. It all needs to be tucked, hooked together, like crimped together to make it look nice. So that's something I'm gonna have to do. But for the most part, it's done, so that's good. It just has to look pretty. That's why it looks all like it does right now, because everything's not tucked and wrapped. We have to run a lot of our lines still, so like our lines from the throttle to the throttle body, the brake lines, drive-by cable systems, things like that. Just a lot of that kind of stuff still needs to be run. We have most of everything, but we just need to run it. In regards to our startup, it is late July right now. It's like 25th. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's the 25th of July. Originally, we said by the end of July, we're gonna have a startup. I think we're pretty close to that. Like I said, there's just a few random things. We made a list today, and I'm gonna go over that too with you. Just kind of random things that we need to do left. Front brakes, throttle linkage, clutch linkage, brake lines, master cylinder, TPS sensor, O2 sensor, wire them, coolant plugs, new vacuum fittings for the boost controller, vacuum fitting intake manifold, the same size as the ECU, wire management, we need to do a lot of that stuff, brake fluid, oil, charge piping, exhaust piping, radiator straps, mount the seats, front brake assembly, e-brake, install harnesses, and get tires and mount 2 wheels and then put the wheels on. So for the most part, I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not too crazy. Nothing we can't handle. I think one of the big things holding us back is gonna be that charge piping. We have to get that custom built, or I'm not sure how we're gonna manage that. There is gonna be some welding that needs to be done, stuff that I can't, or Zach can't personally do. So at this point, I think it's kind of my job to take a step back and look at all this stuff, order the parts we need to make sure that we're on a better timeline here. There's gonna be some stuff I gotta buy so that we're not held up any longer, but I am pretty sure that if we put in a couple more good solid days of work, I really don't see why we can't get this thing rolling. Again, moving on to those front brakes, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't have an answer for you right now, but we're gonna figure something out. End of July is about a week away. Realistically, we're looking at probably like 2 weeks for startup, depending on a lot of everything. For the most part, guys, things are coming along, and I'm ready to clean this up, ready to make it look nice. Thank you guys so much for checking this one out, and I'll see you in the next one.